my God, I thought you were going to become the Wolf of Wall Street, the next Wolf of Wall Street. Well, welcome back, Vin. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Coach Duggan was just commenting that you're his eyes in the huddle right now. Just talk about those responsibilities. Probably you had them last year, but probably even in a greater sense this year.
Yeah, I just think, I just think as an older guy, you have not the responsibility, but just you have the past knowledge that some younger guys might not have. You've seen a lot of football being played. You've seen a lot of different schemes. You understand offense and defensive. So just when you're able to notice little things, come back to the coach and say they're doing this out there. There's little tells that you might not be able to see from the sideline or the booth. Those little things can sometimes be a lot bigger than people seem, and just try to key in on those and try to help the team as much as I can.
You've gone through the spring season a bunch of times now. What are you expecting for the spring game?
I'm really excited. I'm excited for. It's always fun. It's a celebration, right? Like the spring's hard. You grind it out. First of all, you bash into your teammates for 15 straight practices. So I think once the game happens and it's over, there's camaraderie between offense and defense. Everyone's family usually comes, and it's I'm excited to see my family. So just looking forward to that.
Coach Alfred said he's not really sure of the setup yet, but if there's a draft, are you going to lobby for a first pick or?
I would like to. I think as the elder statesman of this place, maybe I'm entitled to the first pick. But I haven't thought about that yet. But if I do, I will certainly be lobbying.
And the way baseball and women's lacrosse have just been kind of tearing it up this year.
Yeah.
Does that help fuel you guys as well?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we were out somewhere this weekend, and there's a ton of BC people around, and my friend from another school was talking about just how how different BC is. Like, how tight knit of a community it is, and he's like, this is a special place. So I think that's a really cool thing about it. And I know people talk about it. I remember when I was getting recruited here, and 6 years later, it doesn't matter. People played here 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It's really the same message and the same mission of the school is the community, the people, and always supporting each other. So I think anytime anyone at BC wins, we all get really excited.
What do you think of the change of the ACC schedule? I mean, for years you were locked into the Atlantic Division. Now you're playing all over the league. Do you like that better? Do you like?
Yeah, I think it's it's fun to play different schools. It's fun to go different places. It's fun to change it up. Yeah. Sure, it gets stagnant. Sometimes I feel like so. Anytime you get, it's still the ACC, so you're still rotating and seeing some of the same schools. But I think it'd be good for the league. I think it'd be good for us, and I'm excited to play some different teams.
You must have an encyclopedic mind of the ACC by this point. Do you know teams' tendencies when you, coming into the Louisville week, you kind of know what you're going to be getting and stuff like that?
Yes. I think, depending on, again, Wake Forest has their, particular scheme. As long as the same staff's there, I think you have kind of a sense of what you're going to get. The non-conference games obviously change. That's when you kind of get some different things. But you get some. You certainly, you can look at last year's film and build off that. All right, this is how they attacked us. This is what they were successful. This is what they're not successful. This is what they're, this is what they're going to look to do this year. This is what they're, and then they self-scout too. So they change tendencies each year, just like we do. So I think it's like a cat and mouse game. It's a little bit of a chess game, and you're just constantly trying to use as much information as possible to be successful.
You guys only have 2-3 practices left this spring. As a veteran player, what's the message to the younger guys to make sure they go about things the right way these last two?
Yeah, I think it's coming from the top. It's coming from Coach Appley. It's coming from Coach Duggan, Coach Azar, Coach V, Coach Rhodes, Coach Turn on special teams. It's really just about the next practice is the most important practice. And just like fall camp, just like the season, the longer you're in it, the harder it gets. So I think it's really just it sounds simple, but it's not really easy. It's really just about training. It's a mindset training. It's pushing yourself, and I think it's important. And I think we've been pretty good at the older guys, right, being examples, being leaders, and showing them how important every practice is.
Are you happy with the way the team's progressed this spring? You think you guys are ready, going into the summer?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've made a lot of strides on both sides of the ball. I think we're operating at a high level. I think some of the younger guys who've come in look good, are picking it up, taking the coaching points really well, keep improving. So yeah, I'm excited. I think going into summer we feel like we're in a good spot.
Coach said he had about 12 recruits out there. He said he relies on the players to kind of help him sell the program. Did you participate in any of that, or have you met some of the kids out there today?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just right? It's not hard to sell a place that you love, right? Like, you know, they ask questions, you know, what's BC like? You know, going to school here, what's it like playing football here? What's it like socially, spiritually, academically, athletically? You know, you give it, when they know it's genuine from you and they know you genuinely love it, like I think that's when it hits home the most. I could think of, like, even when I was being recruited, you know, talking to guys and it's the same message, right? And now, like, you're almost like, you know, when you hear that, you're almost like a little skeptical. Are they just selling it because they go here? But then, you know, you get 5-6 years later and you're like, well, that was, you know, it's true. So I think that's some of the message that I try to communicate to guys. Like, it might seem like we're, you know, selling it, but it really is. That's been the message for the last, you know, 10, 20 years, and it's always been correct.
Is that a North Jersey boxing gym or something?
This is a coach that I my family grew up around. He's he's a quadriplegic, so we did a fundraiser for him.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, he's Johnny Z.
Cool.
But he's Italian American. It's good.
There you go.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Have a good one.